Welcome to day 8 of the 21-day Mindset Reboot Challenge. You have made it so far, so just keep showing up. You're doing a great job. If you haven't already, please click like and subscribe. Your support means everything. Today we're going to be talking about that super popular buzzy word, self-care. You're probably thinking, Steph, I know what self-care is. I don't need a video about it. But there's so much more that goes into self-care than most people realize. So sometimes we get fixated or stuck on one specific type of self-care and we completely ignore all of the other types of self-care. So, for instance, you might be so good at getting your exercise in every single day. And so when you burn out at the end of the week or end of the month and you can't figure out why, you're like, but I am self-caring. I'm working out every single day. Well, what about rest? Are you giving yourself breaks? Are you taking naps? Are you meditating? Or on the flip side, maybe you're taking all the naps and you're not doing the exercise, right? So it's really important when we think about self-care that we think about like a full, well-rounded cycle of self-care. So there's different categories. One I would say would be healthcare self-care. Healthcare self-care is going to be your exercise. We should be moving our body every single day, at least for 30 minutes. If you can get 45 minutes in or an hour in, awesome. But at the very minimum, we should be doing at least 30 minutes of exercise every single day. And we've mentioned before, exercise boosts your endorphins. It makes you feel happier and alive. It gives you energy. It helps you process all that stress out of your body, because when we're stressed and we hold on to it, it tends to come out in physical ways. So if you notice you get a lot of migraines or any sort of like body aches and pains, sometimes that's stress. That's just us holding on to everything. So exercise is a great way to like physically move all of that stress through our bodies. Along with healthcare, self-care, we can also think about adding as many whole foods into our diet as possible. I'm not an elimination diet person, so I will never say don't eat any carbs or don't eat any this or that. But I will say increase your intake of whole natural foods, fruits and vegetables that are going to bless your body and make you feel really good. And then you have other categories of self-care. So rest is one of them, and that's going to be obviously if you can fit in a nap. And when I say if you can fit in a nap, that was a poor choice of wording, because it's not an if, it's when. You need to fit in a nap, or you need to fit in time to just put your feet up and not scroll social media and not watch TV, okay? So like a real rest time where you can clear your head, be by yourself. So rest care, self-care can also be taking a nice, long, hot bath. This is my number one way that I do rest care, self-care. So if that means, at the end of the day when I get home from work, if I've had a long day, or in the middle of the day if I'm home with the kids and I can give them some quiet time while I take a bath, and I fill it with all the things. So I put Epsom salt and essential oils and a bath bomb or whatever I have on hand that just makes my bath feel so luxurious and relaxing. For me, the hotter the better. This is actually when I get a lot of my intuitive hits. I happen to be somebody that really tunes in when I'm around water. So sometimes in the shower, sometimes in the bath, at the beach, whenever I'm around water, in water, I tend to be the most zen. And the more often we can find ourselves in that zen mode, the more likely you are to get those intuitive hits. So in our practice a couple days ago, if you struggled to feel your intuition or hear or see your intuition, however it comes through for you, try getting into a bathtub and see if that makes a difference. And you're going to do the same process. You're going to meditate, take your deep breaths, and open yourself up to the universe or whoever your team is to send you those wisdoms from their infinite wisdom, messages from the infinite wisdom. Another way that we can self-care is by being generous with ourselves. So by generous, I mean, when's the last time you bought yourself an outfit? I know as a mom, I tend to do shopping for everybody else, particularly the kids, right? And I can always come up with the money for that. I can always figure out a way, right? But when it comes to myself, sometimes I am stingy. And I'm like, "Oh, I don't need it. It's fine. I have other clothes, like, I need it for like the kids need it more, right?" And we're always putting everybody ahead of ourselves. And as kind and loving and selfless as that is, we have to take care of ourselves. If we do not fill up our cup, we will not be able to pour out over onto others. So, a lot of us are putting the cart before the horse. We're taking care of everybody else and we're not being as generous with ourselves. So, think about if there's any way, if there's things, little things, like if you're like, I would really like a nice smelling lotion and you just haven't bought that for yourself. The next chance you can, go ahead and find the nice smelling lotion and get it for yourself. These are the little ways that we actually do take care of ourselves. Self-care can also be medical. So medical self-care, when's the last time you had a checkup? A run-of-the-mill physical where they ran all the blood work and did all the things. How about dental work? Are you somebody that has been avoiding the dentist? I've been there. I mean, it can be daunting, and every time I go back and I get another thing done, I check it off my list and I feel so much more relieved. When we continually push all of our medical needs aside or our dental needs aside, we tend to always have it like underlying in the background. It's like background noise. It's just one of the many things that we hear chattering in the back, like, oh, we need to go to the doctors. Oh, we need to get our teeth done. Oh, one day. Oh, I'm not going to do it. It just ends up being too much chatter that we don't need. And so if we face these things head on, we can actually lower those voices and that chatter that's running in the background and start tapping into what we really want to focus on, which is our higher self, our best future self, and getting closer to where we want to be in our life. I was someone who never really was that into washing my face until recently. And now it's part of my daily ritual. I can feel myself taking care of myself every time I wash my face. So sometimes taking the mundane daily things that we have to do or that we should be doing, like showering and washing our face and things like that, and actually slowing down and appreciating them and feeling everything that goes into the process and really feeling yourself taking care of yourself. So you're not just going through the motions, getting clean because you have to, but like slowing down and really enjoying it. And lastly, massage. Okay, so there are all kinds of different massages, and there are facials and there are full body massages, there's foot massages and all the different styles, right? And I think having a massage done by others is awesome. Like when things are open after COVID, I will be hitting up my favorite foot massage place regularly. However, I'm a hairdresser and a mom, and I stand a lot and my feet hurt and my legs hurt. And I have figured out through everything being shut down, when I lay down at night, my feet and my legs throb. And, for a while I was just in pain and, kind of annoyed that there's no way for me to go get a foot massage right now. And I figured out that I can actually give one to myself. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but I lately have been taking CBD lotion. Not everyone's into CBD. It doesn't have to be CBD, but I've been taking a little bit, rubbing it on my foot and sort of intuitively checking in with where on my foot needs to be rubbed. And I've been doing that almost every night. And I can't tell you, like when my feet start to hurt at the end of the night and then I start doing it, it just feels like such a great relief. And it's just another way that we can show up for ourselves and not wait for someone else, right? Because like sometimes there isn't anyone else to do these things for us. Sometimes we have to give ourselves a facial. Sometimes we have to give ourselves a foot massage, and that's okay. So I would say, number one, first and foremost, check in with yourself, check in with your body, check in with how you're feeling, and find ways that you can show up daily for yourself. If you're not self-caring every day, that is one thing that you need to start adding into your calendar. It's not just going to show up. So whether it's in the morning, midday, afternoon, evening, you find the time that works best for you. And if you can, sprinkle it throughout the day, okay? So it's not like feast and famine, like you go a bunch of time without self-caring and then all of a sudden you do all the self-care, right? That's not how it has to work. You can fit in a couple things here and there throughout the day. It doesn't have to be a long process, but if you continually take those breaks and find ways to fill up your cup, you're going to see how much more energy and peace you have that spills over onto other people. And the thing I always tell people too is you're setting the example for your kids if you have kids. So a lot of parents have a hard time making time for themselves or spending money on themselves or whatever it is. And they think that they're being so, amazing and heroic for their kids, but they're actually teaching their kids to not care about themselves because our kids mirror us. We can tell them till we're blue in the face what to do. But at the end of the day, their biggest learning comes from you. It comes from setting the example. And if you want your kids to grow up and be fulfilled, you need to be fulfilled. If you want them to grow up and have joy in their life, you need to have joy in your life. If you want them to grow up and take care of themselves and not put themselves last, you have to not put yourself last. So I leave you with that. Make time for yourself. Make all the time for yourself. Everything else can wait. Your relatives can wait. Your friends can wait. Your family can wait. You need to take care of you first. And then you can spill over on to everyone else. I hope you guys liked day 8 of the 21-day Mindset Reboot Challenge. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if you're looking for a little more support, you're welcome to look into joining my personal power group. And the link should be somewhere on this page. See you next time. Bye.